Now, when we talk about tropical systems in the Western Pacific and the world for that matter, we always concentrate in on the winds, the storm surge, and the heavy rainfall. But there's actually a few other things that come with these that are pretty impactful. And one thing is the temperature. And specifically across Japan, during the month of July and into much of August, the temperature was very much influenced by a series of tropical systems which were moving around the country. Now what you can see right here, this is just a streamline showing you temperature advection, and that's one of the big things what I'm talking about with this. Advection is the horizontal transport of temperatures with the wind. So if you have a southerly wind, typically you have warm air advection coming in from the tropics. Not always the case, but often is the scenario that unfolds. Often when you have a cold front coming through, very similar situation with cold air advection. Now what I want to show you here is actually this graphic. It's a series of satellite pictures, but what it does show you is the temperature in this graph up here going up and down all the way from mid-July. Now watch it bottom out right here. This is actually on July 23rd. You had some northerly winds wrapping around the northern periphery of Typhoon Halola at the time. Temperature dropped down to about 30 degrees, still above average, but then it spikes back up when we had Halola wrap around and had southerly winds coming in ahead of it. Then we had it drop back down again. That was mainly because of the backside of Halola, some northerly winds. Still temperatures pretty warm, 32 degrees, because that whole tropical air mass came up with it. And then you can see right here the temperature just kind of leveled right out. Why? Because between Halola and Sodalor we had no tropical systems. Nothing really was moving through the northern hemisphere as far as the polar region, so we had no cold fronts come through, so nothing changed up the temperature. Then things really spiked up with Typhoon Sodalor in the bottom right here. That tropical air coming in all the way from the equatorial regions, and temperature reached a max of around 37 degrees, then drop back down and back up when we had Molave come through. And then on August 12th, actually an all-time low because of cloud cover and some northerly winds, but mostly cloud cover, somewhat advection. But this here was just the blocking out of the sun from what was left of Sodalor and Molave just off there towards the east. So I thought that was a fun share. I figured showing you guys about one of the impacts from tropical systems we often don't always talk about, but it is very apparent, especially when you live a little bit farther towards the north outside of the main tropical areas. Now similar situations are often seen if you are living in the northeastern US. When you have those hurricanes come up the coast, they often thrust that warm air all the way in from the Gulf and from the tropical areas in the Atlantic. All right, I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta with WesternPacificWeather.com. As always, stay safe out there.